guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it's all about classic bodybuilding. And actually yesterday it was back and bicep day, and me and my brother worked out with another classic bodybuilder who actually did the same show as me in 2014, the Flexcup. And he actually got the best posing award because he pulled off the vacuum. He just has the very good balance of flow to his physique. And he asked me, if I wanted to work out with him. And yeah, sure. I mean, this is Vintage Genetics, the channel for classic bodybuilding, and why not work out with a fellow classic bodybuilder? But first, I had to go to the tanning booth because, as you can see, I'm still kind of not as tan as I want to be. Because I took a break of that like a month, to give my skin a break from all the UV radiation. I'm going to show you outside because it's impossible in the Netherlands to tan naturally. Because look at this here. That's not really the ideal weather to tan. Anyway, so I went to the tanning booth and I'll show you a little piece of that. Basically what I do is, I walk over there. It's kind of a cardio session as well because I'll be walking and tanning combined for an hour. So I kind of count that in as cardio. So I walk over there, go to the tanning booth, 10 to 20 minutes under the strongest tanning bed. Now I turn really white in the winter, so it takes a while for me to build up the base tan for me. And having a base tan is important on the competition day, which is this Friday, 6 weeks from now. 6 weeks until the Arnold Classic. So let's do it. Let's tan, let's work out, let's eat now. So we have arrived at the tanning booth, tanning bed, and that's also a part of, the pre-contest preparation, getting a tan. So let's get one. And this is quite a strong tanning bed. I'll go under there for about twice a week. Actually burns calories as well. The walk to here is about 20 minutes, so 40 minutes walk plus 20 minutes standing, that's an hour basically of activity a day, allowing you to eat more calories a day, upping your metabolism, and it's just, having a nice tan never hurts. It actually makes you look heavier, better overall. So let's do this.
And then later that day it was time for the workout. The back and bicep workout, doing only classic exercises. As I mentioned before, we're with 3 guys now. Ronny Lenters has joined us, another classic bodybuilder as I mentioned, and he asked me to, he wanted to work out with us. And yeah, it was kind of fun because he's a classic bodybuilder too, and I wanted to get to know him a little better. We did the same show in 2014, but I never really talked to him even though he has a classic physique. So today the workout finally happened. Anyway, the first exercise, obviously, like almost always, is the Lat Pulldown, and I'm actually going to start practicing pull-ups after the contest because I want to get stronger with them. It's just a problem when you weigh heavy. Pull-ups are difficult. The heavier you get, the more difficult the pull-ups are. But anyway. So we start off with the lat pull-down in the front of the body. As you can see, stretching out the lats. You can see the shape in the back, creating that V-shape. And there's no other exercise that accentuates the V-shape as well as the lat pull-down. So stretch all the way up and make sure to contract when you go down. And the next exercise is again a lat pull down, but this time it is behind the neck, so behind your head. Now you may think, what, isn't it two of the same exercises? But no, bodybuilding is about hitting different angles on the same muscle. So again, this accentuates the V shape, but what I noticed during this particular lat pull down is that you also target the traps, so it's good for upper back thickness. But what you have to do is lower the weight. After doing the first lat pull down, you basically already fatigued your lats, basically pre-fatigued them for this exercise, and they basically run out of gas and your traps take over, especially when you go down far enough, which is important. And I've actually got this combination from Ronny Coleman. He used to do this as well, and we all know he has quite a large back, so it did work for him. And I personally need to work on the trap and upper back thickness, so that's why I like combining these two exercises for the V shape and the thickness of the back. Come on. And then another great exercise for, again the V shape, but moreover the back thickness, especially the lower back. We haven't targeted the lower back yet, and this, the third exercise, does just that. The lower back, the spinal erectors, the lats, the back thickness, it's all targeted on this exercise. And what is so great about this is that you almost no other exercise can do this. You can stretch out the lats and contract the lower back during the same movement. But the only way to do so is to go, as you can see, all the way down, basically almost hitting the floor, and then go all the way up, contracting the back. This is one of the best classic bodybuilding exercises there is, in my opinion. As you can see, Ronny is doing them correctly as well. He knows how to perform this exercise. That's very important. A lot of people do the T-bar row standing upright, working the traps more, the back thickness more. But if you want a complete back from top to bottom, you have to always use full range of motion. And you don't want to go too heavy on the T-bar row. You don't want to stress the lower back too much. You want to focus on the full range of motion on your form. So I like to use the last set as a finisher using paused reps, squeezing at the top, and trust me, it becomes 3 times as hard to do so. And the moment that you are not able to squeeze anymore, just pump out a few extra reps if you still have it in you to really finish off that back. But the squeeze really takes away all the momentum and makes sure that you use your back muscles to move the weight. Whoop. And Ronny here, he knows his body. He knows when to lower the weight, when to go heavier, when to go lighter, and that is important in bodybuilding. He realizes, like a bodybuilder should, a classic bodybuilder should, that the movement you have to be able to execute correctly. If you can't, drop the weight. It's about carving, sculpting the body, not about moving as much weight as you can. Speaking of which, another exercise that a lot of people tend to go heavy with, me included in the past. I used to do this one with 225 pounds or 100 kilos, which is 4 of those green plates on each side, but my range of motion was flawed. I didn't let the bar drop down below the knees, which essentially splits the range of motion in half. And the shorter range of motion, the more weight you can pull. You don't have to use a lot of weight to achieve the same tension on the muscles. And this is important to prevent injury, to learn mind muscle connection, and to get a proper, balanced, developed physique. So I like to do the underhand version here, because we just did the T-bar row, and this really accentuates the lower back as well. You can really squeeze it much harder compared to an overhand grip. The overhand grip is more for the lats, and you tend to grip it wider than this as well, but I really wanted to accentuate the back thickness on the lower back on this one. And one of my personal principles of bodybuilding is that you should always finish off, almost every workout with an exercise that stretches out the muscle. We just did a lot of exercises to really pump blood into that muscle, to really engorge the muscle full of blood. And it is important to do a stretching movement at the end to really stretch the fascia, which is the sheet around the muscle, and the more stretched that sheet is, the easier it is for the muscle to grow, the easier it is for hypertrophy to happen. So this is the cable pullover. You can also do the dumbbell pullover, but I already did it during the chest workout, so I want to switch it up a little and use the cable version. And I actually, you can use a rope or a bar on this cable, but I prefer the bar because then your back is stretched a lot more effectively. I use the rope more for chest because then you get a better contraction. But as you can see, even through the vest, you can see that the back is stretched properly, and when you achieve that stretch, a lot of blood is rushing through the muscle again, signaling them to grow. The stretch, guys, the stretch. And what I always like to do on the back day is do at least one posterior delt or rear delt exercise. And I like to call this the rear delt row because I focus on the rear delts, and as you can see, you can kind of see them pop out even under the shirt, and that tells you that I'm contracting the rear delts as I squeeze the back. And I also, as I said, squeeze the back on the top to contract the traps as well to create some more back thickness, because on stage, which I will be in a little over 6 weeks, you have to look 3D, especially from the back. I mean, I have no problem looking wide, but my problem has always been, looking three-dimensional, basically looking thick. And, you can say, oh, I'm a tall guy or this and that, but no excuses. It is possible through hard work, like doing exercises like this, not skipping them even when you feel like not doing them, doing research, making sure that you do the exercises that fit your own body the best. So, when you got good back thickness and you don't got the width, you gotta do more pull-ups, more lat pulldowns, more wide grip bent over rows. Even if they feel uncomfortable, simply keep doing them, because if you want to achieve something, you better work for it. And oh yes, we are back with the arm blaster. This has become one of my favorite ways to train the biceps because the tension is never lost. It remains in the biceps, and you can see it even when going all the way down. The tension remains because what the arm blaster does, which is the thing I have under my chest right there, it keeps my arms in a forward position. So it keeps the biceps in a position where the gravity of the bar keeps pulling on the biceps. And when you don't have the arm blaster and you go all the way down, your arms are simply hanging there, and the weight is pulling on your shoulder more. And what I do notice as well, you only feel the biceps during this exercise and nothing else. And usually when you do, barbell curls, when you go heavier, you always feel some kind of other muscle working, like the shoulders or the back. But in this one, nothing like that happens. It's pure biceps. As you can see, you can go pretty heavy on this one. At first, you may have to get used to, having your arms like this, but, after a couple of tries on this arm blaster, it becomes easier and easier to go heavy, but with better form and better tension on the biceps. and time under tension for muscle growth is important.
Dat is wel beter hoor dit.
And as you can see, Kane is getting leaner as well and fuller. You know, the best way to do it, as I mentioned in the lean bulking video, is whether you're cutting, bulking, and doing anything, going about it slower always yields the best results. You don't want to cut down immediately, or you don't want to gain weight immediately, because guess what? When you stop doing what you're doing, the effect will fade as fast as you gained it. And now it's time for another exercise I really like, the spider curls. Again, an exercise that keeps tension on the biceps, but this one is twice as hard as any barbell exercise in my opinion. You know, this is almost the maximum weight I can do. Full range of motion, guys, that is important. Going all the way down, especially on this one, causes a stretch that you normally do not feel on any other exercise. And as you can see, it is a close grip which targets the outer head of the biceps and creates the bicep peak over time. May I add, a long period of time. Do not expect fast results, guys. You have to enjoy your time in the gym and enjoy seeing the process over time. You don't want to wake up and, you know, have a look in the mirror and see your body evolved compared to the previous day. For me, that would take away the fun. I have worked out for 9 years by now, and that's what makes me proud of myself, being able to say, hey, I achieved this body by doing this amount of work. So guys, do not be discouraged when you see slow results or no results. Trust me, when you put the work in, when you do your research, when you eat, you know, good, when your nutrition is on par, you should make gains over time, and that always happens, guys. So don't worry, keep grinding, have fun with what you're doing, and you'll be there. You'll get there. I have had times where I thought nothing is happening. Then I compare myself with a picture taken a few months ago, and boom, I gained muscle. But it happens slowly, so you don't notice it over time. You don't notice it right away, but over time, you do. So an important thing is take progress pictures to actually gauge your progress. And do not rely on the scale, guys. Don't. Trust me. It'll only discourage you, because the number doesn't mean much unless you know what you're doing, like following a lean bulking plan, in which you should lose about 500 grams a week or a pound a week. Then you should weigh, but don't weigh randomly, so because you can weigh a pound or two less within a day, and don't think you lost anything. It's just a number. As long as you're happy with what's in the mirror, it's good. But anyway, the last exercise, the concentration curl, a great finisher, taught to me by Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, I watch his videos, seeing him do it. And, you know, it's a very good one for creating and accentuating that peak, getting a full contraction of the biceps, getting a nice stretch, you know, and finishing the biceps off properly.
Nice, guys, that was the video of today. I hope you enjoyed that workout, and I hope you learned something that's important. And if you want to see anything else, if you want to see me cover anything, just say so in the comments and I'll make it happen. You know, and I've been getting pretty lean, so don't want to give away too much. I want to be a shock when I stand on that stage. I want them to think, ooh, that's the guy we gotta look out for. And I'm pretty sure the classic physique class, you know, the new class, will make sure that a lot of people will be more interested, and it will gain a lot more popularity overall. You know, bodybuilding of the day, you know, the modern Mr. Olympia. I don't think it really applies to the, you know, general public. But when we look at the classic physique competitors, a lot more people want to look like those kind of bodies compared to the Mr. Olympias of today. So, yeah, I'll be doing the cutting video because a lot of you guys have requested it, and I'll do a supplement video, and there's a lot more coming. I'll continue vlogging, improving, doing longer videos as well, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay golden.
Ja, tschüss.